with the Trailblazer SS's sensor, brake position sensor, port connector. Right side might be the passenger side, and then sensor or gauge, AFR gauge, plugged in, or the coil pack harness. Cam sensors down there with the extension harness. Come up the back here and snip it up until you kind of need to reach to the back. And my sensor wire. Go to the right, adapter for it. There's a part number. There's one. We're recording. Cool. All right. Hey guys, welcome back. So, got something new for the Trailblazer. I wanted to show you guys. Got the Hayden Automotive Rapid Cool Trans Cooler. There's a part number. And I wanted to order the bracketry because on the Trans Am, I ordered the same one, and I mounted it with the little black zip tie things that they have. But I ordered the bracketry. There's the part number for that. Comes with 4 brackets, nuts, bolts, all that good stuff. I've had good luck with this in the Trans Am, and I'm going to use it on the Trailblazer. I have another one. When I go like full boosted on it, I'll use this one. It's the trans cooler with the fan on it. I think you can use this for multiple things, but I'm gonna use it for the transmission later when we're actually like racing it. This will, I mean, this has been really good. I mean, I've driven the Trans Am pretty hard. No crazy burnout, something like that yet, but for the most part, my trans temps are fairly low. But move this out of the way. But you got your hose. Got those black zip tie connectors, some worm clamps. Looks like that piece that goes on. Onto the radiator, because yeah, this is just a press on into. So yeah, this is it. Like I said, for what I'm doing with the Trailblazer right now, this is gonna work really good. And then the original one was the one that they sell that goes up here behind this panel. It uses this duct right here. Well, it's not a duct, but that's where airflow goes in. So I got rid of that and gave it to my dad for the GTO. That piece there, you can see that's all by itself. That's where it connected on with the other transcooler. So I'm just going to use that, but I'm going to mount it up front. I'm going to remove the front piece here and then just kind of figure out a way to mount it nice and clean. There might be some tabs I can use, or I know I can figure out how to mount it. It's not too bad. I don't know if we'd be able to see it. Let's see if it works still. Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, because on the Trans Am I couldn't really mount it anywhere else, but there it is right there. You can kind of see it just right in front of the radiator there. So that's how I have it mounted. So like I said, I'll do the same. I probably could put it up front behind the wheel well there, but I just want to mount it up front. Kind of like how the GMC trucks are, the Chevy and the GMC trucks, how they have them mounted up here, like up front away from the radiator. But I'm gonna try to do that with the Trailblazer. So we'll get started on that, bring you guys along. Little update real quick. My big light's gone. My dad's working on it, but got the transmission cooler mounted. I mean, it's solid. So I'll probably keep this front grill off until I know for sure these lines are secured with these worm clamps, or whatever you guys call them. I call them worm clamps. So I only have a few more connections to make. I'm waiting on a fitting for the radiator transcooler. So it's going to go from the 3/8 inverted flare to a 3/8 barb fitting. Order that online. It's going to take a little bit longer to get here. And then I'm going to take the old transmission line down here, have it zip tied together just to know which line goes to which. The last person that did it literally just did a really bad job cutting it. it looks like they just took side cuts or something and just cut the line, which pinched it and didn't make it good for a clean, like for a good cut. So do I have it here? I still do. Sweet. So what I'm gonna do, if this goes up to the size I need, which it should, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut where it's crimped real bad. I'm gonna cut it clean, do a little flare on it, just a single flare. That way the line can go over it, and then I can put a worm clamp behind it. Hopefully it helps seals it. If not, I'll have to see. I think there's companies out there that sell like the hard line. They're adapters for a hard line to like rubber hose lines. So I'm gonna see what's out there. Hopefully it can go from a hard line to a barb fitting. I might have to adapt that somehow, but we'll see. I'll figure something out. I know before this truck ran great. The only thing I messed up was the engine, because I spun that rod bearing on number 2. But the transmission ran fine. Whenever my transmission guy went through it, Bradler, he said someone's been through the transmission before. Had an aftermarket Corvette servo, and it had a custom little cover on it, but the case was completely mangled on the inside. So whenever he built this transmission quite a few years ago, he gave me a different case for it and put it together. So glad we got that done. I'm glad I got that done when I did, because everything's gone up in price for, you know, transmissions. But yeah, so today, like I said, I'm gonna try and cut that hard line and put a flare on it so I can slide the hose on there and clamp it down. I'm gonna get the crank sensor wire. I think I have it down there already, to be honest. Yeah, I do. Get the crank sensor wire down there. Probably grab the starter, throw the starter on there. I just need to get a trigger wire that for 12 volts while cranking. That way it sends a signal to the starter solenoid to tell it to turn the truck over until it starts. I'll do that. I won't put the headers on this side just yet. The headers are on this side. I think I told you guys that in the video before. Headers are bolted on. Most of the wiring's done on this side. I just need to put the rest of my my bolts for my coil pack bracket. I need to put the rest of those on. I just want to get a couple on there to keep the wiring harness where it needs to be, because like I said in the past, this harness isn't specifically for this. Whenever I had the person order it for me, I thought they were ordering the right one, but they weren't. They were ordering it for a Gen 3 truck, kind of, where I said in other videos, I'm just going to keep repeating it, but for some people that don't know, with the 06 Trailblazers, it's a 24X reluctor wheel on the crank, and it's a single pole cam sensor on the cam gear. But normally those are on the Gen 3s. When it's 24X, you get the signal from the back of the block off of the camshaft itself. There's notches on the camshaft, and that's how it reads. Where on the LS2s, which is now up to the Gen 4, quote unquote, the cam sensor is obviously up front now, but it's still a single pole with the 24X reluctor wheel. So when you order the harness from Holley, make sure, if you're ordering one for the Trailblazer specifically, the Trailblazer SS 2006, I don't know what year it switches from the 24X to the 58X reluctor wheel tooth, because it goes from that to, I think it's the 4-pole cam sensor. Correct me if I'm wrong. It might be 4 or 3. Anywho, so like I said, whenever this harness was ordered, it was ordered for basically the Gen 3 stuff. So I had to get that adapter for this. Had to get an extension harness for the cam sensor because it's all the way up front now, where the one is only to connect on the back of the block. But this being an LS2, a Gen 4 block, it's not back there, it's up front. So yeah, I'm not gonna get the coil packs on this side yet until I get the starter. Then I won't put the headers on until I know that the starter has a signal wire that's connected to 12 volts while cranking. That way when I turn the key off, it won't send the signal, so the starter solenoid will retract the starter gear. So I got the coil pack up there. So I just want to get a few things knocked out. Baby's asleep. My fiance's inside sleeping with her, so I wanted to get out here. Haven't been out here all week. Just watching the baby and stuff like that. And I go back to work Monday. It's Saturday. So I just want to be out here working on this for a little bit and get some things knocked out. So let's get to it. Alright guys, quick update. So I got the water pump on. I didn't get the starter yet. I'm gonna do that next. I got my transmission cooler lines hooked up. Got everything ran up here to the front. Tightened down everything. I put a double clamp on that one down there just to be safe. Yep, so water pump's on. That's connected down there. Got a couple things zip tied down. Making progress, slowly but surely. But I'll give you guys another update here in a little while. So, see you in a bit. What's up guys, back. It's been a few days. Like I said, I was waiting on a part. I don't know why it's done. I mean, I've ordered this part twice and it's taken forever, but this is that adapter I was talking about for the radiator transcooler to barbed fitting. I like this just because it's brass. I know it's a lot thicker, durable than, you know, look at that, than this. I'm sure for most people this probably work for your application, you know. I'm sure it's fine. But I didn't use this on the Trans Am, and I'm not going to use it on the Trailblazer either. So it's just a 3/8 to 3/8 inverted flare. So I'm going to put some thread tape around it just because it's brass and going into an aluminum radiator. So I'm going to put that on there. Like I said, it's been a few days because I was waiting on that part. But nothing else has changed. Still the same. So I'm going to get that on so I can finish the transcooler. And then I'm going to get the starter put in. And get the cam sensor connected. I think I have, no I don't, do I? It's still disconnected. So I gotta get the map sensor, cam sensor connected. I gotta get the, which now that I'm seeing how this is laid out on the harness, I'll probably put the wideband O2 sensor on the passenger side, and then I'm gonna buy my own wideband sensor to have inside just to see what this bank's doing. But today is just gonna be get that adapter put on, get the starter put on, and then once the starter is buttoned up, I'll probably slide this header up and in and get it started, bolted on. Get the coil pack put on. It's right over there. And then I'm having a pretty big issue. Where's my... Gotta find a light. Oh, here's one. This one's not 100% the best, but should do what I need. So on these, there is this ground wire, and they want you to have it on the back of the head. The only issue is the firewall and the cylinder head are literally butted up against each other, and there's no room really back here. So I'm gonna end up cutting it, stripping it, adding a new wire to it, and probably bolting it up front here on the front of the cylinder head, because I don't have, like I said, I deleted the AC on this, so I'm gonna put it on this hole right there. This flashlight's not the best. It's one of those where you have to push it, or I could just, there we go, twist it until it turns on. So yeah, I forgot to show you guys, I put these little clamps, came with the transcooler kit, and I drilled and tapped on this part of the frame up front and put that just to help keep the transmission lines on there tight. Now they don't flop around too much. Zip tied down there, zip tied up here, and then zip tied loosely down there, just to keep them kind of together. Still need to get a thermostat. Then I can put the thermostat cover on. Get my heater core wires connected, because I still have that. And then I need to figure out the steam port vent stuff. I don't know if I'm gonna run it up to this tee off here and then connect it here. I'm not gonna do what everyone else does, drill and tap my water pump. I don't want to do that. Or possibly just do a bung up here maybe, or tee it off up here, you know. We will see. Sounds like someone's calling. Oh, nobody. Potential spam. Not worried about that. So yeah. Another update. Like I said, I'm gonna get that fitting put on. Try and get the starter put on. And then I will give you guys another update. So, see you in a bit. Alright, so hopefully you guys can see where I have it. Right here. And then I have just the return line coming out, and I just use the factory connection there. And I did find that they do sell the adapter from a hard line to a hose barb. So if this connection doesn't work with the double clamps on there, I'll just end up doing that. But I'm gonna go ahead and get the worm clamp on there, secure it, and you know, when it comes time to fire it up, we'll check all the system and make sure there's no leaks coming out of here, or the two connections on the actual transcooler. So, yep, just wanted to give you guys a view of down here. So, we'll keep trucking along, and I'll be back shortly. Alright guys, update. So, you can't see it, but starter's on. I got the power wire connected, and then from the harness that I bought from someone local to me off of his Trailblazer, one that he crashed, I got the trigger wire for the solenoid, starter solenoid. It's this purple one. So I ran it through. I used electric tape to wrap it up. So I'll use this as my trigger wire for that. And then that was pretty much it. And obviously I got the oh my gosh, that brass adapter on, so I can finish the connection on the transcooler. So that's done. So I'm gonna wrap this up, get this video finished, edited, and then I'll do another video whenever I get a little further on the Trailblazer. So yeah, this is just a harness that I'm using to pull some of the wires off of. Like I said, I took the power wire cable for the starter off of this, and then I just took that trigger wire off of that. So yeah, and then I'll just point this out. I got these tires. They're the Firestone Firehawk Indy 500s. Marketplace is an amazing thing. So I wanted to buy these originally whenever I got the car back up and running, but I got some Kumos on there. If you can see it, maybe. They were the cheapest tires I could find at the time, just to throw on there. Summer tires, just to throw on there. So I did that, and I was looking at purchasing these, but they were just so dang expensive. But Marketplace, I found these. They popped up at a tire place that was about 35 minutes away from work. And at first I thought it was fake, because, you know, just like how Craigslist used to be, Marketplace can be a little shady sometimes too. But it was a tire business, so I called them, and they're like, no, it's real. So believe it or not, I got all 4 of these for $300. Yeah, $300. I spent $600 on these, I want to say, but for all 4 of these beauties, I mean, that's 275s, which is exactly the tire size for these WS6s. It's 275 40 R17s. Yeah. So I got really lucky. I think there was one other person trying to get these too, but I got there first. So snatched them up. Yeah, that's crazy. 4 of them for $300. So now I'm either looking, because these got really good tread on them. They're real aggressive. I'm either looking to get another set of these, the WS6s, or possibly similar 17-inch, like lighter wheels. But we'll see. But yeah, I want to share that a little bit with you guys. Got really lucky on that, so happy about that. But yeah, I'm slowly knocking this out. I need to get the, what's it called? Oh my gosh, thermostat. Because, I mean, the old one looks okay, but, I mean, I'm putting a new water pump in, and I'm just gonna get a new one. I can probably get on the road to AutoZone. That's not too far from me, and get it. So got the alternator. That will go on later. I want to make sure I have enough room to just access a lot of stuff in the engine bay, and then I'll put this on because this is an easy put in, pop in, be on my way. And I got my radiator hoses here. This I could honestly throw away. That was to my headliner that I did on the Trans Am. And then I'll get that other header on later. Like I said, I wanted to make sure I got that trigger wire put on. So got that done. I don't think I'll need access to that side of the engine, so I'll throw that header on and then get the coil pack put on there and connected. And here soon, my dad said he's ready to come over and help me wire it up, so we're getting close. And then I have to reconnect the fill neck on the gas tank, and then I need to order, because I have nothing but AN lines. I have a what's it called? I have one line coming off that is for the breather, and I know they have like an AN to like a breather, like just a cheap little breather that I'm gonna run. That way it's capped off and it has something to let the fumes out of the tank. But other than that, that's it, guys. I'll get inside, wash my hands, eat, edit this video, and then it'll be uploaded. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.